That view is from inside one of the buckets where the parachutes are located. So we see a great view there of the reefing on those parachutes, and as those main parachutes begin to inflate fully, the splashdown site, we can see the crew there using their restraints as resting places for their arms. They were just in space moments ago, so their arms were able to float freely. View was from inside. That view was from inside one of the buckets where the parachutes are located. So
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever you are listening from across the world. My name is Mr. Freemo, and you are listening to the Mr. Freemason channel. So thank you for joining me for another live. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be here yesterday. I had some technical difficulties with StreamYard, so unfortunately we've had to reschedule for today. So with that being said, today is Friday the 4th of April 2025. And it is a 4-day. In today's live stream, we will be covering Elon Musk, NASA astronauts, and April the 1st, otherwise known as April Fools. So we'll be covering these topics with regards to numerology, astrology, and taking a look and seeing what the numbers tell us about this. So if you're new here at the channel, we like to cover numerology, astrology, and decode the matrix to explain why certain events, news, crime, and things happen within regards to the reality that we live in. So as always, I will do a roll call just to see where everybody is listening in from. So if you want to drop down in the chat section box where everyone is listening from, and I will start to set up for the show. Update for you. I've been busy behind the scenes just because I haven't been doing lives and a couple of videos. It doesn't mean that the work doesn't stop. So there's been lots of developments going on, and we're kind of coming to time for the release of the project, which will be next week. Now, to mark the release of the project, I'm hoping to bring you guys on board, and hopefully you will join me in a live stream of the release. And from there on inwards, everybody will know what this project is. You will know about this project first because you people would be the ones who will be informed of, obviously, the release date, the details, and hopefully towards the end of the live stream, we're going to do a couple of tests and see what the results come back, really, with regards to numerology. So that would be quite interesting. So to start off as well, just like to wish everybody a happy new year. For those who are in the know and woken up from the matrix, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Most people who haven't woke up from the matrix will still be aware that April the 1st is April Fool's Day, when in fact, in real terms, it's the first day of the new year. So we'll start the video. We'll take a look at Donald Trump and Elon Musk. We will also have a recap of a previous live stream that I covered about nearly 3 months ago at the beginning of the year, just before we changed over from the dragon year into this year, the year of the snake, which the enemy sign of the snake is the pig. And it just so happens that Elon Musk is born 1971, year of the pig. So we'll take a look at how things have panned out for him so far with regards to 2025. We'll take a look at the NASA astronauts and see what numerology tells us about that, and also how it links to Elon Musk. And then finally, as I said already, we will look at April the 1st, April Fool's Day, break down exactly how that came about, for what purpose and reason, and what the actual real reason for January the 1st is. So with that being said, let's get straight in the video. So we'll start off with Elon Musk. Elon Musk, most of you who've watched the show before will be aware Elon Musk is born on the 28th. The 28th is the number of business wealth and success, which is why you'll find Bill Gates is born on the 28th. Vladimir, who's the actual real richest person in the world, it's not Elon Musk. He married his first wife on the 28th, and their first daughter was also born on the 28th. So this shows you how the elites and the people that run the world and also countries use numerology to their advantage. Elon Musk also had his 6th child, I believe it might have even been his 7th. But that child was also born on the 28th of last month. So a lot of these people who are high places of power, elites, even the royal family, they will use numerology on a daily basis, even when it comes to conception of their children and offspring, which is why you'll find many of the royal family, the males are born under 1 energy and 11 energy. All their births are carried out by C-section. This is to make sure that they're delivered at a certain time, on a certain day, and sometimes in certain cases in a certain place. So just to take a look at Elon Musk and how Elon Musk uses numerology himself. Elon Musk is responsible for several companies that most of you will be aware of. One of them being Tesla and SpaceX, along with X, which used to be formerly Twitter. So one of the models that Elon has is called Model X. Another model that Elon has is called Tesla X. And last of all, he has SpaceX. And what you will find with every single one of these brands and names is that they all have 6 letters in them, creating 666, which some will be informed is to do with satanicism and to do with the devil, when in fact this is actually to keep you away from exploring the real reason of the topic. And the real reason for the topic is 666 is the key code to time travel, which is why there's 60 seconds in a minute, there's 60 minutes in an hour, and there's 24 hours in a day, because 2 and 4 equals 6. So as we move on with Elon Musk, we will take a quick recap. If you've heard in the news with regards to Tesla stock.
My companies are suffering because I'm in the government. You just pointed that out a moment ago.
Right.
Do you think it helps sales if dealerships are being firebombed? Of course not. And Tesla customers are being intimidated all over the country and all over Europe. Mm-hmm. Does that help Tesla? I mean, you had Tim Waltz, who's a huge jerk, running around on stage with a Tesla stock price where the stock price had gone in half, and he was overjoyed. What an evil thing to do! What a creep! What a jerk! Like who derives joy from that? And it was pointed out to him that actually, Minnesota State Pension Fund is a major investor in Tesla. But he didn't care. He was so overjoyed by Tesla stock going in half. Does that sound like a good person to you? I don't think so. IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Marching against the Teslas. How are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty. Yeah, I mean.
But there's no turning back, you're saying?
I'm just here trying to make government more efficient.
Tesla lost 130 billion. There's 13 for you.
There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced.
Yes.
It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Marching against the Teslas. I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty.
It seems more than coincidental that in a live stream that we covered in January, just before the turnover date of the 29th of January this year, which then went into the snake year, with the enemy sign being the pig, which Elon Musk is. We'll take a quick look at that recap now, just to cover what we covered in the past, and just for those who haven't seen it, just to get up to speed and take a look for yourself. So we will start with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is born on the 28th. He's one of the richest men in the world. 28 is the number of business, wealth and success, which is why Bill Gates is also born on the 28th. Elon's actually born on the 28th of June 1971. And the reason that his year 1971 is so important is because we are about to come into the year of the snake. Unfortunately for Elon Musk, he's born in Year of the Pig, which is the opposite sign to the snake, which is what we're about to go into on the 29th of January 2025. So it's not going to be Elon Musk's year this year, unfortunately, but he's probably quite fully aware of all this and knows this already. We'll delve into Elon Musk and his ties with Donald Trump. And he might be just trying to hang on and cling on to Donald Trump as some sort of savior because he knows what's coming this year. Going back to someone's comment in the comment section in chat, there's Wiz. Wiz has said with regards to Elon Musk selling Twitter this year, if he does, it's going to be for a very, very cheap price. I've got a funny feeling it's going to go very, very sour before he even gets that chance, which is why I would say, although I'm not advising you to do this, but I'm just saying as an observational point, as proof and evidence of how things are going to fall into place, is Elon Musk owns and runs Tesla. Tesla stock are going to crash, the same as Dogecoin, his cryptocurrency, is going to crash. It's been made the Department of Governmental Efficiency, which stands for Doge, his coin, by Donald Trump. It seems to be that Elon Musk is getting a little bit too close to Donald Trump, and I believe he's starting to actually get on his nerves. So going back to Rome quickly, like I said, it goes back to Julius Caesar times. We know that so turn our attention to Elon Musk. The astronauts that were recovered and brought back to Earth were apparently done by SpaceX and Elon Musk. NASA weren't able to do this and apparently had to rely on Elon Musk. There's a couple of mitigating factors, and one of them is Elon Musk has actually launched 25 attempted flights so far. In numerology, 2 and 5 equals 7. 7 is the number of the genius, which is why Stephen Hawking is born under 7 energy. So there's already been 25 attempted total flights, and every single one of these has failed because those who are in the know and viewers of the channel and many of you out there will understand and hear of something called the firmament. There is transcripts and something from Psalms 19 first, which is engraved on von Braun's headstone. Von Braun was one of the 90 scientists from Germany that were brought over by America after 1945, and they were the forefathers that set up NASA, which actually stood for National American Sea Association. It was never anything to do with space until they discovered some deep sea explorations, and then ever since then turned their attention away from the sea and turned it towards space. Something also to consider is 80% of the waters have never been explored. Now we'll also take a look at the footage from the astronauts and break down and decode numerology with that. But just before we go any further, so the actual SpaceX project was called SpaceX 9. It was hosted by NASA, but it was actually called NASA SpaceX 9. The astronauts were stuck in space for a total of 9 months. They returned on the 18th of March, and 1 and 8 equals 9 as well. And it just so happened to happen in 2025, which 2 and 2 plus the 5 equals 9. So if you haven't tuned into the channel before, I will run down the regular numbers that are used in numerology and used accordingly with regards to events, news and crime. These numbers are 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 19, 22, 23, and last of all 33. This is why I made a point that the fact of the astronauts space project was called SpaceX 9, also that it was in space for 9 months. Also this happened on the 18th, 1 and 8 equals 9, and the fact it happened in 2025. 2 and 2 and the 5 gives you 9. Number 9 is the number of completions, beginning and endings and cycles, which also ties into the year of the snake, because the year of the snake is known for things happening where things happen, and the snake is known for shredding its skin. So basically new beginnings, so to speak, an end of an era and the beginning of a new one. There's also a Simpsons prediction that's come to light with regards to Donald Trump, and that revolves around the dates of the 13th and the 14th of March. Sorry, 13th and 14th of April this year. That's how quickly the months are going. So yeah, revolved around 13th and 14th of April 2025 is a date to keep your eyes and ears open with regards to Donald Trump.
The splashdown site, we can see the crew there using their restraints as resting places for their arms. They were just in space moments ago, so their arms were able to float freely.
In 1986, the Shuttle Challenger exploded about 74 seconds after takeoff, killing all 7 astronauts inside. Or did it? In 1986, the Shuttle Challenger exploded about 74 seconds after takeoff, killing all 7 astronauts inside. Or did it? It turns out that 6 of the 7 are still alive and kicking today. Ellison Onizuka claims to be his identical twin brother, Claude. Yeah, I've got an identical twin brother, Claude, too. The Challenger pilot, Mickey Smith, hasn't even bothered changing his name. He's now Professor Michael J. Smith of University of Wisconsin. Now, Krista McAuliffe was a bit of a sneaky one. She was the Challenger payload specialist, quite famous for being a teacher. It turns out during her astronaut days she was using her middle name, Krista, and now she goes by her first name, Sharon, and she's a Syracuse law professor. The Challenger commander, Francis Richard Scobie, is now Dick Scobie, which sounds like a rather unpleasant disease, CEO of Cows and Trees Limited. Judith Resnick, the Challenger mission specialist, again hasn't even bothered changing her name. She's a professor at Yale Law. And finally, Ronald McNair, another Challenger mission specialist, claims to be his identical twin brother, Carl McNair. What are the odds?
So just an example for you of how all astronauts are Freemasons. You can also look up Buzz Aldrin on IMBD, I believe it is. You will find Buzz Aldrin is listed as an actor, and why you will find that the astronauts are on Hollywood Boulevard and have their own stars, because they're stars and they're actors. So, moving on to April the 1st, otherwise known as April Fool's Day. This comes from the Gregorian calendar. January the 1st comes from the Gregorian calendar, which was organised and arranged by Pope Gregory in 1582 in October. The calendar that was arranged before that was actually arranged by Julius Caesar and dates all the way back to 45 BC. But it was adjusted to match up with the spring equinox, because from the Julius Caesar calendar, it was slightly out. So the way that the world is run today is by the Gregorian calendar that was introduced by Pope Gregory. But before then, it was run by a different sequence. The reason it's called Gregorian calendar and run by Pope Gregory, it goes back to religious purposes and paganism. So in 1972, in October as well, you will find that there were actually 11 days missing. So if you look on a calendar, or you can trace all the way back, in 1972 in October, the date went from Wednesday the 2nd and moved straight to Thursday the 14th the following day. So what is the 1st of January about? And what is New Year's Day as the 1st of January that we're told about? Well, this is actually to mark St. Basil's Day. St. Basil was to do with paganism, and it's to do with a paganism holiday. The actual first day of the month being 1st of April and the last day being March. This is because March is dedicated to the planet Mars. And this is why you will find that the sun dictates the hours, the moon dictates the day, and the stars dictate the month. So just to prove that the 1st of April is the beginning of the new year, this is why you will have your start of your tax. Tax year will begin on the 5th of April, which is several days after the New Year's Day. This just goes to show, with regards to numerology and the matrix around us, that everything that we have needed has always been here from day one and shall always exist until the end of time. This starts with even the sun, the moon, the stars, the firmament, even from nature to electricity to even ourselves. If you take certain vegetables and you cut the vegetables in half, these actually resemble organs of the body, such as if you cut a carrot in half, it represents the eye and the iris. Cut a broccoli in half, it represents the lungs, and so on. So we'll take a little bit more of a look at New Year's Day. Like I've said, this comes from the Gregorian calendar that we run by. And for those people that don't know this is the beginning of the year, this is why it's called April Fool's Day. Now, if there's any of the listeners that are out there that would like anything such as a numerology reading with regards to yourself, then please drop something in the comment section below or in the chat, and I will do my very utmost to do you a reading while we're on live on air. In the meantime, I'll give you something else to think about. with regards to the matrix and the digital world that we live in. Like I've just said, that everything that we've needed has always been here in nature, from electricity to food to water to sunlight to the moonlight. This also goes for AI. And if you take the principle that everything that has existed has and always will exist, the same goes for AI. AI has already existed, it always did exist. The only difference is we discovered it. So that will give you something to think about. So if nobody has any more further questions, we'll wrap the live stream up. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you've learned something. Like I said, I will be doing a launch live stream next week when the project goes live. In the meantime, if you'd like to grab yourself a copy of a book called Numerology, Astrology, Breaking the Matrix, which is available on Amazon now, you can go and grab yourself a copy of that. It will explain a lot more details and connections between numbers, day-to-day living, and how you can apply them to your own life. Simon in chat, why would Elon lose all his money? Because Elon Musk is born under the year of the pig, 1971. This year is 2025, year of the snake. Because when things happen in your enemy year and you're in your enemy year, things go bad and you have losses. If you want a prime example, Matthew Perry was born in year of the rooster, lost his life in his enemy year of the cat in a hot tub. Jeffrey Epstein lost his life in a prison cell in his enemy year. So all this information is available in some of the previous streams. The rest of the information is certainly in the book. It will explain everything that you need to know, Simon, which will also give you an insight as to why Elon Musk paid $44 billion for Twitter, because 4 + 4 in numerology equals the number 8. And number 8 is the number of money, which is why you will find Kanye West went from the poorest to the richest black man in the world, and he's born on the number 8. Your year of the monkey. Well, if you live in America, Simon, you will do well, because America was founded in 1776, a monkey year, which is why people who are born under monkey energy tend to do very well in the USA. Yeah, Wiz has updated me there and updated Simon on that. Yeah, it's because he's in his enemy year, Simon. So what you will find is whatever year, animal, zodiac sign, in Vietnamese astrology, everybody has an enemy sign. And when you find out what your enemy sign is and when that year was, you can then kind of recap and apply it to your own life. Other people won't be able to tell you what events have happened, only when the kind of period of time it was, such as the year or your enemy year. Only you will know the information of what's happened. Sometimes people, when you tell them, first of all, they won't always remember, especially if it's quite a few years ago. People have to cast their mind back. But trust me, when they do, they will come and tell you. So, and the same goes for your own energy year, really. So the next monkey one is not too far away from what I remember. It is, I'll have to double check. I can't remember off the top of my head for you, but I will have to have a look. So yeah, next time it comes around to a monkey year for you, whatever plans or you've got things that you'd like to do for yourself or your life and accomplish, whether this is traveling, starting a relationship, a new business, do this in your own energy. Because this is where the saying comes from that timing is everything. So I hope that helped you there and gave you a bit of a heads up and a bit more of an understanding of how animal energies work. It's basically the same as a positive and negative, yin and yang, light and dark. There's a positive and a negative for everything, and that's the way that it's balanced out. So yeah, I hope that helped you a bit with that information. Yes, Wiz, April is the start of the new year, the 1st of April, which is why we have the tax year. The new tax year starts on the 5th of April. It's 2025 as well, which is a 9-year, which is known for beginning and endings, which is probably why there's a lot going on with the markets at the moment. It almost kind of feels as there's almost a reset, so to speak, coming. Only just because things have happened quite significantly and changes have happened in previous snake years. An example of this was 2001, when 9/11 happened and the Twin Towers came down. That was also a snake year. So the world is known for shedding its skin and making way for new beginnings. So if you're at 18th, Wiz, you're a 9. So you're 8. So you would be a 3 life path, Wiz, if I can work that from the top of my head quite sharply. So you're a 9 energy day, but you should work out as a 3 life path. So you're the chatterbox, you're the comedian, you're clumsy, you can be caring, you can be very charming and charismatic. Yeah, bit of a joker. So I'll give you an example of a 3. Chris Rock. Chris Rock's a 3. So there you go. He's a comedian and his name's Chris. Chris begins with C, 3rd letter of the alphabet is C. So there you go, just shows you how this all works. So yeah, with regards to Elon Musk, I don't know if you caught the beginning of the live stream earlier, Wiz, but your question that you asked us in a previous live stream with regards to Elon Musk and what we kind of said back then seems to be coming true into fruition and manifestation. You can't sit there and say that Elon Musk doesn't know about these things. Of course he does. That's how he applies it to his life. That's why he bought X or Twitter for 44 billion, because 4 and 4 equals 8. So which is why I was hoping to release this project on Tuesday next week, because you'll find Tuesday next week is the 8th. But that's just a coincidence, obviously. So has anybody else got any other questions in chat? If you missed the beginning, I do apologise for yesterday. I did have some technical difficulties, but I have managed to get myself here today, and we still got through with the show. So if you've missed any bits, please do go back to the beginning and recap. I'll just give a brief outlay of the day today. So today is the 4th. The 4 number is about law and order. Donald Trump is also a 4, and this is why you will find Independence Day is on the 4th. Yeah, people born on 4 days, they're hard workers. They're people who have to work a lot more harder than other people. They do get this work done. Just to give you an insight, I'm actually a 4 myself. So yeah, it does ring true, and that's probably why I studied at college for 3 years. I studied business and law because I actually did want to go and be a solicitor or a barrister. So even numerology applies to my own life. So that just goes to show you. And I am one of them people who's kind of firm but fair. So yeah, number 4 definitely applies to myself. I'm also born on a 1 day. Mine comes out at, so I am the alpha male, I am the athlete. I've always been into my sports, so I used to play semi-professional basketball. So it wasn't until I started applying the numerology to myself, my own life, and others around me, and on a daily basis, that's kind of got me intrigued into this in the first place. Yeah, Tiger year was 2022, last one. Yeah, that's correct. My daughter's actually born a tiger. Tiger women are quite feisty. They can be quite domineering, actually. If you get 2 partners together who are both tigers, that can be quite difficult sometimes, because it's almost kind of a battle for the man to take the alpha male role, because the female will want to take that role just as much. And so them two it goes kind of two ways really. They work very, very well, or they tend to clash because there tends to be a fight for the role of the alpha male in the relationship. So there you go. This is another interesting fact to know. Your life path for Simon as well. So when I speak about law and order, and I speak about firm but fair, I speak about having to be a hard worker and having to put the work in more than others, but you do it and you do accomplish your achievements. The fourth letter of the alphabet is D. D stands for defendant, defense, detained. So you can see how it applies to the number 4 of law and order. You probably wouldn't get on very well with 3s, because 3s and 4s tend to clash, to be honest with you. 3s, although they're known as the chatterbox and comedian, third letter of the alphabet is C, and C also is the first letter of the word criminal, which is why the number 3 and the number 4 don't tend to get on very well. Which is why you'll find also Donald Trump, wasn't he indicted on 34 charges? So there's just another bit of numerology for you. You kind of have to ask yourself, after what kind of stage does this become not a coincidence anymore? Like I say, if you're new here, Simon, then please sub up to the channel. Please go and watch some of the other videos if you haven't already. Some of them absolutely blow your mind, some of the numerology in there, especially to do with some of the terror attacks and stuff that happened this year. You had 3 attacks that happened. First one was on 2, I believe, were on January the 1st. And then you had another one on February the 1st. And the first letter of the alphabet is A. Attack starts with A, as well as assassination, which also relates to Donald Trump. So, yeah, the numbers never fail and the numbers never lie. So I'm sorry if you missed the beginning part of the show. Please go back and watch. Like I said, I will be on here next week. We will do a live launch. You can go check the project out for yourself then, because it will be live. And we'll have a bit of fun with the project. We're on a live stream then. And we'll see how it goes, really. Just before I do go, if there's anybody that would like a reading of any sort, then please drop it in the chat section, and before I jump off live stream, I will do 1 or 2 readings for you, and we'll see how this goes. So I noticed okay, so I noticed Whizpers in there, and also Simon, from what I've seen. So I'm going to go with Wiz first, and then we'll go back to Simon's, and we'll see what we can do with regards to reading wise that comes out. Just bear with me for 2 secs, because I am operating about 3 different screens at the moment while I'm talking to you. So although I will still be here, I am just doing this in the background for 2 seconds. So I will say, I have noticed some of you, the viewers and subscribers, have bought the book. I hope you've enjoyed it, and you've learned something from it. I've had feedback from some people. Some people said that the text could be slightly larger. I have increased the text. So if you've got a book from before the text was increased, please drop me a note in the comment section or on one of the videos. I will get back to you, and from there I will send you out an updated copy free of charge, of course. So if you'd like, obviously it's a bit of a struggle to read, then the text has been increased. So like I've said, if you've got one already, then please let me know. I will send you the updated one free of charge. Obviously, I do know who's bought the books through the records, so I will be checking. Although I'm not emotional, I am petty, so I will be checking just to make sure. Those who say they want a copy are the ones that have bought the books. So yeah. So with that being said, let's do some readings. So we had Wiz, who's 18th of April. Right, okay. So if, just in the meantime while I do this, if anybody else would like any sort of subjects or topics for me to cover in any of the future lives with regards to anything that you'd like to know, I know some people have asked me about topics before, which I've covered some on. One or two were on spelling and the English language. If you'd like a bit more on that, I can always go a bit more into depth of that and discover what it holds. Just going to check your year 1 minute, sorry. Two. Okay. Your fourth. So yes, you're correct. You're a life path number 4. Your day number is 9. Your day energy meaning means that you're the manifester. You're the manipulator with. You're good with money, you're money orientated. You're classed as a non-humanitarian, sorry. You're the adapter. You're good at crypto and achieving goals. You're good at giving advice, but you don't always apply it to yourself. You need to stay away from repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Your next best year is planned to be 2034. And your next enemy year is supposed to be 2028. And yes, you're correct, you are the tiger. And your enemy sign you need to stay away from is the monkey. So from the looks of it, you and Simon wouldn't get on very well because Simon's a monkey from what he's told us. So yeah, you two wouldn't make the best of friends, so to speak. So if you're born on the 29th, Simon, you're actually a number 11. You're one of the first master numbers because there's 11, 22 and 33, which are classed as the master numbers. So number 11, Simon, you would be the leader. So you're someone who's quite independent. You're self-orientated, self-focused. You like to be your own boss. You certainly don't like taking orders from other people. You're very charismatic and charming. You can be quite emotional as well, because 11 is the number of emotion, which is why you had 911, because number 9 is the number of beginning and endings, and 11 is the number of emotion, which is why you have Remembrance Poppy Day in November on the 11th of the 11th at 11 o'clock in the morning. But it's a bit difficult to tell, Simon, because I don't know if you're American or... Oh, no, sorry. You put the 29th of November, so yeah, no. 11 is the number, obviously, emotion, which is November. Oh, so you're a double 11. That's a core. You're a very emotional person. You feed off your emotions a lot and act on them. That sometimes can be your strong point, but it can also be your downfall. Because sometimes you'll act on instinct and your emotions rather than take a step back sometimes. So, yeah. Let me know, Simon, how I'm doing as well in the chat section, where I'm hitting some targets here with what I'm saying. Obviously, I don't know you. I've never met you before. I'm just going off of the numbers and the information that you're providing for us. Yeah. So, if you're 20, let's do Simon's then. So if you're the 29th of November, Simon, can you give us what year you are at all? That would be quite helpful, because otherwise we can't really do the most accurate reading for you unless we've got that detail. Obviously, I don't need to know where you live or your postcode. We don't need to go that far into details, but just your birthday would help. So if you're the 29th of the 11th, have you got the year for us? '80. Before I even go any further with this, you're actually the animal Chinese astrology one before mine. My last enemy year was 2023. So yeah, like I was going to say, if you're the monkey, yeah, that's correct. Because like I just said earlier on when I spoke to Wiz, 2022 is Tiger. So 2022 wasn't a very good year for you. Things went quite badly wrong. I can't obviously explain what it is that happened for you. You could have lost a job, a very close relative. Obviously, you don't have to disclose on here, and I wouldn't ask you to either. That's private information that I wouldn't ask you to put on the internet, but just for you to take away and think for yourself. Yeah, 2022 wouldn't have been too great. But hopefully I can have some better news for you to tell you what you have got to look forward to. So, like I said, always a positive and a negative. So Simon is a life path number. You come out as a life path number 4, Simon. So you're the same as today's energy. So you probably had quite a good day today, actually. Things have probably gone quite well for you. I wouldn't be surprised if you're in the police force, or you may have led a life the other side of the law. So people who are number 4s have lived either a side of the law, as in breaking it, or they tend to be living a life where they defend the law. So that's the thing that you tend to find with number 4s. I know a few number 4s, and I can say personally from my own experience, not including myself obviously, but they're people who have had run-ins with the law constantly. That's all I've known them for, is just run-ins with the law. And they wouldn't actually tell me what their date of birth was at first when I did the first one, and I read them, and then that came out right, who was a number 4, and then the other one that I went to go and do was a number 4, and they didn't want to give us their birthday until their friend told me it anyway, and then we found out there was a number 4. So yeah, with regards to you, Simon, like I said, you're the leader, the old spirit. You're inspirational to others. You're charming, charismatic. You're a speaker. You're the mastery at your own class, and you're a perfectionist. You need to stay away from negativity and bad leadership. Your next best year for you is going to be, like I said, so it will be the next monkey year, which is, I believe, it can't be too. Oh, it might be actually. It might be 2000. Might be 2032. The only reason that I say that is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is actually a monkey as well. And like I said, America was founded in 1776, a monkey year, which is why Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to run for American presidency. So yeah, that's the way that one kind of works out. Your Vietnamese animal, I said already, is a monkey. Your opposite sign is tiger. You're a hard worker. You will yield success. You need to stick to discipline and routine for your own personal and professional growth. And you need to be the stable force for your family. Which kind of probably also refers to number 4 being a number of law and order, because that kind of has to do with kind of guarding really, and rules and regulation and stuff like that, protection. So is there anybody else that would be interested in knowing any more information about themselves before we then start to wrap the stream up? But hopefully Numerology has done us quite proud in this stream with regards to you people and your dates of birth. I guess only time will tell. And please do leave your comments underneath, or if anything does happen in the meantime where good luck comes for you, then obviously drop a comment in the comment section and let all the other subscribers and viewers know how numerology's worked for you. So with that being said, I am going to wrap the show up. Thank you very, very much for all joining me. You've been absolutely awesome as always. It's always been a pleasure to come on here and do a live stream with you guys. So we will book a date for next week. I will post a post. I tell you what I'll probably try and do, even if I can try and get on for at least half an hour stream on Sunday. We might be able to do a bit more of a catch up and an update if anything else happens in the meantime. And I can give you some more details then of what time and place we will be doing the stream and launch for next week. Like I said, I'm going to try and aim to do this for Tuesday the 8th of April, as long as nothing goes wrong and everything's smoothly. Everything should be all ready to rock and roll Monday, which means that the launch will be ready Tuesday. If anything else changes in the meantime, then I will let you know. And then as far as that, take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, people lie and numbers don't. I'm out of here.